If you thought Disney could not be any more hypocritical, well, think again, folks. We're here to tell you that when James OKeefe was chasing down that Disney executive, well, we noticed something interesting, and that is that apparently, though Bob Iger cannot stand the head of Tesla, the man in charge of SpaceX, Elon Musk, it turns out that Disney execs just must drive a Tesla. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel where we have fun poking the mouse, only when it is apropos, and here it definitely is. It turns out that if you're a Disney executive, the vehicle of choice, of course, is the only vehicle which has a reliable charging station network. No, we're not going to promote Tesla here, of course not. But the Disney execs just might. Folks, this is the funniest thing you've ever seen. We're talking about an undercover reporter of a major news organization chasing down a fleeing Disney executive as he is trying his best to put it in plaid mode, ludicrous mode. Get ready, ramp it up, charge it up, and go. Get away from this guy in his Model S. All right, folks, without any further ado, at least it's not a Cybertruck. It probably wouldn't be able to fit on the Sunset Boulevard. But let's bring up the clip, let's bring on the panel, and get ready to laugh, to cry, and even have some fun. We've got the second round of the Disney tapes here, and we're going to be taking a look at these. I think some of our panelists are going to disagree again on this. I just have that feeling because there are some interesting things about this that you're unlikely to hear in other places, as they're just going to go straight to cut and dry analysis of what's in the video. There's a meta discussion, though, that needs to happen here. But before we get into this, of course, this is the second set of Disney tapes. The first coming out last week, Thursday. We had round-the-clock coverage starting with That Park Place, then right here, then on Valiant Renegade. And we're going to do just this one today. Of course, Midnight's Edge was covering this earlier. But this is coming on the heels of those first tapes. If you've not seen those first tapes, go watch them. In the first tape, some of the bombshells we found out were that according to this Disney VP, and folks, there's been some allegations that he's not a big fish at Disney. John, we discovered later on that he actually has had articles on like Deadline and Variety published just about him. So I think he's not a small fish.
Promoted. About him getting promoted.
Right. So
he's not a small fish. He's a senior vice president.
When Deadline is covering you that way, yeah. So,
leads when it comes to getting deals done with the actors for television shows at Fox.
The bombshells that he dropped were, of course, that Disney allegedly, according to him, did not hire some people of African descent because they were not, quote unquote, black enough. Also, that some positions are simply not open for white men. And that's just the beginning of the things that we're finding out. OKeefe has later said that he's got people now reaching out from inside Disney. So that's great. We've had people reaching out to Film Threat. That's great. We've got our sources. All of this is great. We are welcoming and happy that OKeefe has hopped into the fray. And there's plenty of room in this pool to swim around. So, folks, we're giddy with excitement to have somebody else joining us. I know people out there have different opinions about OKeefe. That's fine, too. We're not going to, wade into that too much unless it becomes part of the tapes. But let's go ahead.
I will say some of that is definitely going to come up over the course of reacting to these tapes.
Okay, well, fair enough. We'll get there when we go there. Here's what it says, though, folks. Confronted. The Walt Disney Senior Vice President, Michael Jordano, is confronted by James OKeefe and OKeefe Media, which is OKeefe, after uncovering Disney's discriminatory hiring practices. The situation intensified when one of our American swipers confronts Jordano about having a tickle in his throat to avoid seeing her while on a date with another American swiper. Both journalists leave the scene as OKeefe enters the stage to question Jordano. So he's been catfished, folks. Double catfishing.
Can I translate that a little for people who never saw the first ones?
Please, please.
The original footage that you may have seen pieces of him explaining all this about Disney's hiring practices were taken from dates that he had with two different women who connected with him on a dating site who were actually O'Keefe's journalists with their undercover gear. But he didn't know that there were two of them. He was just making the same pitch about what an inside honcho he is to two different women that he wanted to have a relationship with. So what they did for this one was they set up a date. Both of them called him to see if he was free or something. And one of them was told no because he told her he had a tickle in his throat and he better not do it. So he goes out with the other one. And apparently the other one says, hey, a friend of mine is going to meet me here. She's got to return a key fob or something to me. Is that okay with you? He says, yeah, sure. What's the big deal? The other girl shows up and she's the other one he had the date with that he told he had the tickle in the throat. So now the other one comes back. You know her? You know her? You all know her? And that's the point where OKeefe steps in and says, hi, Michael, guess what? You're busted,
this
basically.
Was multiple layers of, oh no. Multiple
Especially
layers
since
of,
he sees the cameras rolling and runs to his car and is chased down the street in the middle of the Sunset Strip.
It's never you never want to be chased by cameras to your car. That's a bad feeling, especially if you're not the kind of person the paparazzi is typically impressed to follow upon. But folks, let's get into the video.
Especially up there, because Michael Jordano has to know that there are probably people sitting in those sidewalk cafes in that particular part, the very, very center of the Sunset Strip Hollywood zone, who are going to recognize him and see what's going on.
Okay, so hold that for just a moment.
Scared to death of that.
Hold on for just a moment, because that is really important. And again, Lou, that's why we love your expertise. You've been to these restaurants. You know them. You know exactly where this is. It says, caught off guard, Giordano fled to his car with OKeefe tailing him. The scene at Sunset Plaza did not go unnoticed. Hollywood influencers, ex-Huddy, Chiara Hovland, and Nick Higgum, who witnessed the entire incident, praised OMG for saving the city and pledged to check out OKeefe Media Group. All right, Lou, where he went was not a place you go to be hidden, to have a secret date. He was out there.
Where you go to be seen and be seen.
All right, tell us about where this is.
Well, it's right in the heart of what's called Sunset Plaza, which is the center of the Sunset Strip. This restaurant is called Le Petit Four. It's a very famous French, Le Petit Four is a Petit Four, or the little pastries. It started out as basically a pastry and sandwich and coffee place, and it is frequented by all of the people who were born in France but are making the high life in Hollywood. This is their hangout. This is the French expatriate center of life in the universe. And by the way, the fact that he ran to his car, which was parked right there in the middle of the Sunset Strip, this guy's there a lot, and he's got some kind of very high tipping relationship with the valet guys. Because if you had Google Earth and we're going to play, I could show you the whole geography. But the point is, the restaurants up there on the street, their parking is down the hill behind them. And you pull up and you slip the guy your however much, and he takes your car down. And when he sees you getting ready to come, he's already down there getting it. The fact that they gave him a spot sitting there for theoretically an hour or two while he has his date, he is known to them. And therefore, he has probably got a lot of mover and shaker buddies who also know him, who are also there frequently, and who he had to think when this thing started to go down would be seeing it, and he needed to get his face out of there before too many of them saw it.
Well, I'd say many of them have seen it now. I think that's fair to say.
Well, in fact, later when he finally drives away, OKeefe comes back, and these people right there in front, the blonde lady underneath the type's face, starts asking OKeefe what was going on, and he starts telling them, and they're going, oh, really? And they don't cop to knowing him, but you could sure see on their face that they recognized him, at least from being a frequent customer up there.
All right, folks, as far as I know, this is safe for work. I don't remember there being anything in it, so don't throw the kids away. Don't toss them out of the van. Here we go. Let's play and see what we've got.
We haven't had a lot of them. Sorry again that I was 2 minutes late.
Okay. You don't care if my girlfriend comes to pick up my key fob, right?
No, of course.
Okay. Oh, hey, babe.
Hey. Hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Yes?
Wait, do you guys know each other?
Yes. We are.
Oh, wow. You told me you had a tickle in your throat.
I did. I
Is
thought
this what you call tickle you do? Going out with my friends?
Wait.
All right, so let's pause here for a moment, guys. I want to ask this question because I think this is where some of the disagreement might come in. We'll take a minute pause, okay? So don't anybody go forever on this. But OKeefe needs this guy, in my estimation, to seem credible and honest for all of this to hold together. Right off the bat, this isn't a credible and honest guy because he's playing the game with two women, not being honest with them. Now, maybe that's fine. I don't know. I don't know how many dates he went on with them. I don't know what kind of belief he had in terms of exclusivity. I don't want to get into his dating habits, but I think this puts him in kind of a negative light right off the bat. Lou, do you agree? Do you disagree that this might have been a misplay?
I disagree that it's a misplay because I don't think you can make him look any more dishonest than he already is. We don't know that there aren't 8 other women out there who don't happen to work for OKeefe. And I don't think that part of his personality changes anything as far as his credibility of saying what he said. And by the way, if you are quote unquote two-timing, and he isn't really because they're just people he met on this thing and they're not, there's no years and years of relationship in the back of this. But if you are, what do you tell somebody to get them to be impressed with you and want to go to your house? Hey, I work for a company that discriminates and is racist. And isn't that exciting? I don't think so.
I feel like we're watching How to Catch a Mouseketeer.
Well, okay. I'll buy it if it's that. But I just don't think the two subjects connect in the way that you're suggesting.
Anyone have a differing opinion on that? Is everybody, John, what's your thought here?
Yeah, so I actually think that it just shows that Disney employees are sleaze bags.
Well, there you go. Or at least that one.
Well, other than him ditching a date to go on a different date, I think that's obviously, it's not the hugest crime in the world. It's obviously dishonest, and I would never do that. Obviously,
no, never.
I'm here, but I don't think it's, as far as I'm concerned, that's the worst thing they've got him on here. The thing that I don't want to say, there's something I'm going to save till after they talk about it in the video here. There is a little bit of something here about OKeefe himself that this video very much focuses on the relationship aspect here and the you've been caught aspect of it more than it focuses on new information.
It's how to catch a mouseketeer. That's what this is, I think. That's the flavor of this one versus the other one. Let's play on and we'll see what the audience thinks.
I just want to. I agree with you, Pro. I think the last one was more like fact based. What has this guy been doing? Sure. What is telling about Disney? And this one is more like I see a lot of people in the chat saying it's cheaters. It's more of the kind of entertainment, getting more eyeballs onto the fact that why is he even doing this? Right? Like
it makes me wonder if it's a bridge, John.
Right.
It's a publicity bridge to get to the next one. Maybe there was fear that they were not going to hold the attention of the audience all the way till the next Thursday. I'm not sure what caused them to go with a 6-minute release today.
I know when we talked about this on the That Park Place channel, Lou kind of talks about this all the time. This is kind of OKeefe MO. He plays things out over a couple of weeks to keep it at the top of the of your mind, top of trending, etc.
I wonder also. We all talked about how when the first one came out the other day, instantly this guy disappeared. He's while we were looking for him, we were seeing his accounts disappear at various online resources. And when I wrote the article that I wrote that's on That Park Place, that's about should we feel sorry for this guy or not, basically, I mentioned this guy. I mean, who uses, like I just said, I work for a dirty, rotten company that everybody thinks is sweet and Mickey Mouse, but really they're screwing people based on their ethnicity and their sexuality as a come on a date. I don't have any sympathy for this guy. He's been going along with it. He didn't get up and announce it on his own. He didn't go out and say, I'm quitting as a matter of conscience. He didn't do anything a decent person would do. And yes, I think it's a bridge because everything disappeared. When I was writing that article, I wanted to make sure I spelled his name right. And rather than going back to the video, which I should have done and eventually did, I started looking him up and it wasn't anywhere. And not only wasn't it anywhere, if you looked up OKeefe, you found all of his prior stories, but nothing on this one. So
we'll talk about that in a few because they put the lid on this thing.
I'm mentioning it because what you said about a bridge, OKeefe might be thinking, I can get more people to pay attention to the meat that I'm going to further present and what I've already presented. If scandal, guy is, if this story is the story for a day or two, people will start looking into what the background is. And they weren't because they were being kept from it by it being dried up on the net.
Right,
so,
right.
I think that bridge analysis is right on, and I think it's what OKeefe had to do to keep the story alive in light of the extreme disappearance of it
Okay, so I agree with all of that. Let's come back to that after we finish the video, because you're right. OKeefe has got something like 7 million eyes on this thing, but it's all him doing it. I mean, we've seen it in Breitbart. I think I saw it on Daily Wire. But outside of that, nobody is touching this, really. Fox News doesn't want it. ABC doesn't. Well, ABC clearly doesn't want it, but you get the idea. Right. Nobody wants to give him credence or credibility. We'll come back to that, folks. Let's watch some more. Is that Chris Hansen?
Hi. Is your name Michael Jordano?
Maybe.
Do you work for Disney?
I'm not gonna.
Is this you right here?
I'm not.
So you are the vice president of the Walt Disney Company?
Okay, so folks, he's not the vice president of the Disney Company. I think OKeefe might have been taken aback that he was already having to go for the chase, but not the vice president of the entire company.
And you're on tape saying that you don't hire white males. Quote, "No way we're hiring a white male."
No way we're hiring a white male.
Sir, are you the vice president of Disney? Do you know about Title VII of the Civil Rights Act about discriminating against people based upon religion and race, sir? Quote, "I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are white, you know."
Here all the time. Like,
so can we pause this?
You know.
Sure.
So there's a couple of things here. I wonder if he is misrepresenting things, because to say he's the vice president of the Walt Disney Company, that's not generally, people outside of Disney would not necessarily know that that's not a very high position. Senior vice president is an executive, but it's not like the second in command of the entire organization.
Right. He's not Josh D'Amaro. He's not Dana Walden.
As well as
he's misrepresenting it. He posted that image there on it that says what he is, that he's a senior vice president.
Well, it's the kind of thing that here we would say that it's not. We would add clarity to it, right? The four of us.
Sure, but he's on the street confronting the guy.
But it's also something that is just misrepresenting enough that it's not false, but he might be trying to put him on his back foot and try to say, no, that's not right. I am this. Just like he's saying, I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are white, you know. I think in the context, he was saying that other people were saying that. So I wonder if OKeefe is trying to bait him by intentionally taking all of the quotes in the worst possible light.
I think it's more than that. Look behind OKeefe. As he starts to get up and chase this guy out of the restaurant and down the street, a busy street in the middle of the day, a busy restaurant, if he says, "You're vice president of Podunk Industries," nobody's going to turn around. But as soon as you mention that word Disney and say it loud enough, you start getting attention, and this guy starts really realizing how exposed he is, and you're more likely to prompt him to get mad and turn around. And, you know, I'll give Jordano credit. He stayed pretty cool. A lot of these guys don't in these videos. In other words, I don't think he's just talking to Jordano or even just the video audience. I think OKeefe is making a scene to make a scene to get the reactions from everybody else that's around there. Because as I said, afterwards, as you'll see, he goes back and tells people, just like he did in front of Disney, where he asked the employees coming out of the building, "Do you know that they're doing this?" Or the thing with the security guards. Did you see that piece?
Mm-hmm.
He's making television, guys.
Yeah, and no issue taken there. Let's continue to watch a little television. We'll get some more commentary on the other side.
Quote, "I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are white, you know."
Here all the time. Like, you know, I'm looking to hire writers and actors who bring diversity. I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are.
Disney is concerned. I'm a white male. I have friends in HR. Mike, who are your friends in HR?
As far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white male. That's not who they're looking to promote at the moment. I have friends in HR and I have friends in those divisions.
Do you think that being quiet is going to help you? You don't have authority to put me on tape. Bye.
Okay, pause there, though. You don't have authority to put me on tape. Under what? I mean, this is the United States of America. You guys think he just was looking for something to say before he leaves, or what?
He's looking to say, "I'm a lawyer, and you don't know what you're talking about." And he says, "Yeah, I know, and you're wrong." So
I think there is recording laws. I know in Virginia where I'm at, you don't need a second party to consent to recording, whereas other states require both parties to consent.
Well,
I'm not really.
But we're in a public space here, so I don't think that applies. Lou, do you have any knowledge of that and how that works in California?
That's the point. I mean, if this was just Channel 5's news crew out on the street and they were asking people questions about the bomb that went off across the way in the neighbor's garage, it would be legal and it would be usable. So I think this all comes under that. Look, this is, and I'm not saying he's perfect, and I'm not saying he's the expert of experts, but OKeefe doesn't want to do this if he can't use it. So he's got to have a certain amount of knowledge of what he can get away with and what he can't. And also, I think, was it Ron Coleman or somebody mentioned, he's not trying to make evidence for a trial. He's not trying to use this tape and make it admissible in a court of law. He's just exposing the issue. Different legal requirements for those.
I will put you on tape, and I do have that authority under the First Amendment. You know, just because you work in Hollywood doesn't give you entitlement to discriminate against people on the basis of race. Michael Jordano.
There we go. This is where OKeefe gets to show off how in shape he is.
Yeah,
I will say though, there's a bit of iron. Well, he needs to rock those shoulders if he's going to do the cruise.
There, do you see what movie is on the wall of that building in the distance?
Yeah, I do see Inside Out.
Okay.
But guys, is there any loss of irony here on the idea that Giordano, a senior VP at the Walt Disney Company, flees in a Model S Tesla, probably a Plaid? He's getting out of there at ludicrous speed at Elon Musk's special delivery. Dang it, it's hot, Bob. Dang it, it's hot. I find it funny that Elon Musk is the man who has the getaway car made for this guy. It's a Tesla. Of course, it's always a Tesla. Anyway, let's keep playing.
Sir.
He's still chasing him in the street.
If it wasn't a Tesla, he could have caught him.
See if we can catch up to him. Hi, Michael. Watch out. Hi, Michael. Discrimination on the basis of race. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act.
Red light.
Look at his face.
Oh, wow.
Look at his face. I was giving.
All right, so from here on out, it's going to be mostly, talking with people on the streets, and there's an ad in the middle of it. Let's go to the panel now and get thoughts on all of this. John, let me start with you because you're having a good time right now. Tell us what your takeaway is here, besides OKeefe and his loafer sprinting speed.
It's just hilarious. I mean, obviously we didn't get any new information, but it's just more fun. It's he's literally chasing after the car. He doesn't need to actually catch up to him, which is just hilarious that he actually catches him at a red light. And his camera guy's running too. So just imagine like all the people just watching this. Like this guy's like,
can you imagine?
Like a white Tesla's like, what's going on? When the guy on a bicycle at the end is just like, I love what you guys do. Like knows what he's doing. It's great.
When OKeefe advertises for camera people, he doesn't do it based on race, but he does say you got to run the 50 at whatever time. You gotta be looking for cameraman in shape to run in the middle of the street.
All right, Jonas, your thoughts on OKeefe and his athletic prowess of catching that Tesla?
Well, this video, now that the video's over, I can say that this is the video that we knew would come. No new information. It's just him kind of rubbing it in, enjoying the sensationalism of it. This is not the kind of thing that actually adds to the narrative. Doesn't add to the information, which is the thing that I, of course, am hoping for as we, as a person who's trying to figure out what's going on at the Walt Disney Company. Those little details are really essential. Like the revelation, even that last video, we kind of knew, we got the confirmation, which is important. But for them to literally say, well, even if you check the box, if you don't appear to check the box, they're not interested in you. In this one, we get to find out that this guy maybe is hedging his bets a little bit on dates. That's about the only new information that we got on this one.
No, with respect, Jonas, you got more than that. The first thing you got, the fact that he didn't tell him, no, I never said that, confirms that he said it, especially when OKeefe very cleverly edits the original video right into that spot where he's accusing him of it, and the guy's saying nothing. Because he's already made his response to the accusation, which is, yeah, I did it in the original video. So you're getting that confirmation. But beyond that, look, guys, You're all coming at this, rightly so, as investigators, as reporters. You got to remember that most people out there don't even watch the news, let alone this. But if their friend says, "Oh, did you see that guy being chased down the Sunset Strip?"
It's a good
Because
point.
he was there with two girls and he's a liar and he represents Disney. He's a vice president at Disney. This is
what you're right, Lou. That the people who think
people
like
to go
Jonas
watch the original tape who never saw it till now.
Right. The people who think like Jonas are the same people who think like me. I understand, Jonas, where you're coming from. You're intellectual. You think in that sort of abstract way. There are people, though, they are driven totally by sensationalism and emotionalism, and they need this to get them in that door to go, oh, what is this about? And, folks, we've come to the end yet again. That was a different kind of video, I would say. You don't see that very often. Disney executives fleeing in their automobiles and hypocrisy all over the wheels. You don't see that every day. Neither, I think, do the people on the Sunset Boulevard see that every day, but boy, is it fun to watch it. You know what? You all might as well watch it again. But before you do, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, again, we hope you're having a happy holiday week. As you're enjoying your time, enjoy the sunny vibes of Vacation Radio. It's at Vacation Radio, where we are producing original content, brand new songs, every single one coming from the studio here in somewhere sunny USA. All right, folks, we send you on your way. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 times daily. You know the drill. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.